Brazil playing in yellow, they're serving, it's the USA in blue receiving. Larissa with the serve. I wanted to go straight down the middle, almost a screen, going straight over the top of her playing partner, Juliana, but a rather tentative start. And just look at the concentration on Misty May-Treanor's face as she goes with her first serve. And Brazil have their side out. Well, the two teams have played each other on many occasions, and that's a nice, confident start for Larissa. I think most notably, if you're a Brazil fan, you take heart from the fact that on the last two encounters, it's Brazil who've come out on top this season on the World Tour as Larissa fires one down the line, and it's an early lead taken by Brazil. First points from serve. First breakthrough. Change up, going to Misty May-Treanor. A slight miscommunication, I think, for Brazil, because Juliana's jumped into the cross court and is expecting Larissa to be on the line. An easy leave for Juliana. Well, Misty May and Kerri Walsh were interviewed prior to the game, and Kerri Walsh has said that they don't feel they've been playing at their absolute best. They know that Juliana and Larissa are the #1 team in the world, and they are sure that in their own hearts they believe they are better, as in the USA better than Brazil. But will they be able to get the job done here? They desperately want to win here. They want to make it their 4th World Championship gold. And it seems that the tactics are just going out the window at the moment. Normally everybody serves against Juliana, and everybody serves against Misty May-Treanor, but right now the team's just mixing it up between the 4 of them. Well, they know each other's games inside out, there's no question of that. They know exactly how they work and how they play under pressure. And that's the shot that Misty May-Treanor has. That makes it so difficult to stop at the net. Just waits for the defender to move, and as soon as she does, cuts the ball the other way. Well, Larissa chased after it. She thought it was going out, and she let it hit the sand. And so the USA get back on track. Nice pokey. Larissa was there, wasn't she, but didn't play it. And Kerri Walsh steps in with a big block cross court on Juliana. She enjoyed that as well. Juliana deciding to hit, and there's a mismatch at the net when she does that. 6'3" versus 5'10". But that'll do nicely. And straight away, you probably saw that was off of camera, but Kerri Walsh just signalling to the referee about the handling, just trying to get something in Jonas Persinini's mind about what Brazil are doing when they're setting. All part of the game. Line block signalled by Juliana. And it's too easy, Kerri Walsh rolls over the top. Trouble that Juliana has, if she goes too late, then Kerri Walsh will just hit. So she has to get the timing absolutely perfect. Larissa does hit and squeezes that right between Kerri Walsh's block. In fact, managing to get the ball in between her arms, so not a particularly strong block from Kerri Walsh. Juliana. Chance here for Brazil. Well taken. Larissa intentionally putting that ball in a position where Juliana could have a swing if she wanted to. Comes up with a lovely pokey. USA out of position. So we're right back where we started. All square. Brazil with the serve. Great pickup from Larissa. And very cleverly done. USA out of position. Kerri Walsh having to play defense, and Misty May-Treanor was trying to block, but they couldn't stop Larissa. Another chance here for Brazil. And that's brilliantly taken. This time, Kerri Walsh deciding to break from the net. And it didn't work for her. You have to wonder why, really. It's 6'3". She's one of the biggest blockers on tour. And that was there, and that could have been blocked as well if she'd have stayed in at the net. Another great pickup from Larissa. Oh, that's a real shame. She just got a little bit carried away with the hit. Thought for a minute that was going to be 3 big points in a row. Well, that's some margin of error. That'll do nicely, though. Larissa straight down the middle. You do wonder, don't you, how much the memory of not beating Kerri Walsh and Misty May-Treanor in World Championships plays on the mind. We'll soon see when they get themselves, if they get themselves into a winning position, whether they can carry themselves over the line. That'll do. Great serve. Well, interestingly, both teams are unbeaten on their way through to this final. But for the USA, once they got out of their pool, their 3 knockout matches all went the distance, all went to 3 sets. They were pushed all the way. They've certainly had the more difficult time in terms of number of sets played. Brazil have only gone to 3 sets on 1 occasion so far in this tournament. The rest of the time it's been straight sets and looking good. And it's looking good for them now in this first set. Oh, she may only be 5'10", but she can pack a punch. Can Juliana, so too Larissa. Well watched by Larissa. And a lovely line roll. Well, they've got USA right where they want them as they head into the technical timeout with a massive lead. 5 points the difference. If they can keep their heads and keep playing like that, they'll have this done and dusted in 2 sets. But that's a big if. You can see how much it means to Larissa. Well, it's quality volleyball out there on the sand. No question of that. The 2 best teams of all time, without doubt. For Juliana and Larissa, they want to cap that off with a gold medal at a World Championships. They're about reaching their peak in terms of age and physical condition. May-Treanor and Kerri Walsh at 33 and 32 are on the downhill slide, although it's not much of a slide. But in terms of where both teams are at in their careers, Brazil's still on the up. And one thing they wouldn't want is to have gone through their career, and whilst the USA were playing, they weren't able to take a World Championship or Olympic crown. Larissa with the serve. Good chase. But unfortunately just too much on it. Well, Larissa's in the zone. She's reading Misty May-Treanor very well at the moment. And Juliana putting on some good pressure at the net to force Misty May not to cut the ball close to the net. Well watched by Juliana. Well, a nice hang time from Juliana. She just waited and waited, and then a very quick arm into the block. And it was pretty much before Kerri Walsh could get her hands right across the net. And you're seeing, aren't you? I mean, a massive amount of strapping on Kerri Walsh, and you can see that that's because she's got a weak shoulder. There'll be some real issues there of having to have it strapped up. So in terms of being strong at the net blocking, we've seen twice now that she's not, and the ball being rattled between her arms, whereas normally that would go straight down. Brilliant, lovely cross-court angle. Kerri Walsh not dropping the left arm to try and cover what Juliana was doing. She was quite narrow in the block, Kerri was. A little bit of luck, they'll take that. And they will not be putting their hands up and apologising for it either. Those days are well and truly gone. It's all part of the game now. Larissa doesn't capitalise. However, a 6-point lead in the first set. This is huge. Brazil just need to keep their eyes off the scoreboard, focus on what they're doing on court, which at the moment is exactly the right thing. Very wide, has to go cross. Well, it had to go cross court. Larissa's gone to her knees instead of coming in tight to cover. There was no other angle except a cross-court hit or a cross-court roll. And you can tell, can't you, still quite a weak block from Kerri, but effective on that occasion. Oh, it's another big block. And that was a very tentative hit from Juliana. Maybe they have taken a little peek at the score. Didn't finish the hit, didn't get through the ball. What a comeback. Brazil are going to call timeout. Brazil just taking the foot off the gas at the moment. Got that 6-point lead, then really they just stopped playing. That was 3 points where they were expecting, just because they were going to play the ball, that they were going to win the point. They're lacking that aggression they showed at the first part of this first set. And the USA will take full advantage of it because their level has remained pretty much the same. Nice shoot, a great angle, great view from the net cam. Well, 10,000-seater stadium here at the Foro Talico, and there's about 8,000 to 9,000 in, and it's a really good showing for these Swatch World Championships. Big side out here required by Brazil to put them back on track. Good covering by Larissa. Another chance for Brazil. Larissa goes over on 2, and she tried to be too cute. There was all of the line to go at, and she wanted to roll it just over the top of May-Treanor. Didn't need that shot, and she knows it now. At last, Brazil have the side out. But the USA have momentum, and they know they're back in this set. Juliana will come through to block once she's served. Oh, that's a big block. And is that a momentum turner back in favour of Brazil? Well, a big deep breath from Juliana after making that, probably from the celebration more than anything. But that's really well done. Jumping into the cross for once May-Treanor wanted to hit, and it didn't pay off. Juliana once more. Well, Larissa thought about it. She'd stepped to her left and then went quickly back to her right. But her mind told her to give up on it. Nice power from Juliana. She's very good at that. Just waiting, hand up ready, and then really a very fast arm. There's no shoulder turn particularly. It's just whipping through the ball. that's great play. Unfortunately, just a little too far away from Juliana. Good reactions from her to break from the net, and then Larissa at full tilt. Spectacular play. But caught between trying to get it back to her partner, but also getting in a position where she could maybe have a swing or do something with the ball, instead of just actually playing it to her. It'll be May-Treanor with the serve. They're going after Juliana. But Juliana comes up with the side out, and Brazil have a set point. May-Treanor puts the hand up for a screen. Larissa moves. Juliana serves. And it's a massive block from Larissa to take the first set. 21-17 in favour of Brazil. What a start for them. There's the score for you. What a block from Larissa. First block she's made, first time they've done a little change up. Juliana serving to play defense. They didn't want to let the USA go over Juliana and Larissa. Let's have a look at the highlights. We saw in that first set, with a big lead, Brazil let it slip. 16-12. In fact, 16-11, wasn't it? Became 16-15. They won't want to let that happen again here. Second set about to get underway. And it's Larissa serving as she did for the start of the first set. Although she'll be hoping she doesn't do what she did in the first set. Cross-court block signalled by Juliana. And it's a brilliant serve. That's what she wanted to do in the first set, but she's done it here in the second, and Juliana says, no, you're not taking that ball. Larissa's having that one again to serve. Excellent serve, just dipping right in front of May-Treanor. And then she decides to push her deep. Loads of line, and it's another big point for Brazil. This is a magnificent start for them at the beginning of this set. Nice play. Unlucky. Well, if there's ever a team that was fired up, it's the team in yellow and orange. They're touching just about everything. May-Treanor with the serve for the USA. It's the way that they tidy up that makes them so good. Larissa struggling with the pass, and then Juliana at full stretch pops it up on a plate for Larissa to roll the line. May-Treanor goes behind, and the reason players will do that, it just suddenly changes the call sometimes. Suddenly your cross-court now becomes a line, and you stood in the right position or not. Well, I'm pretty sure most teams would just take the view that, well, I'm blocking line and I'm blocking cross-court. If they move into my line side, then I'll just block line. That's nicely done for Larissa. I think the confusion some teams have is the person they were blocking cross-court's now moved over to the line side, and they're thinking, oh, shall I keep blocking them cross-court or not? The easiest thing is just to stick with the calls for left and right as opposed to which person. Nice work, Kerri Walsh over the top of the block. But Brazil, though, have made their move. They have a lead. They can keep trading. They can keep the lead. And you wouldn't bet against them getting some more points, would you? The way they're playing defense at the moment, off the back of what May-Treanor's doing. certainly going to stay away from Kerri Walsh as much as they can. Good pick up from May-Treanor. It's her first meaningful play in defence, but she can't find the sand. Larissa can. And the first time that Brazil make a transition play, or a continuation play, and the first time USA get into transition, USA can't finish it off. Juliana to serve. Juliana very nearly getting it. And that's the danger that Brazil know they face when Juliana serves, that May-Treanor will pop it up to allow Kerri Walsh to go over on two, because Juliana is still making her way to the net. Good pick up. Brazil now should tidy up, and they do. Oh, they're playing some just beautiful volleyball. And as far as the USA are concerned, no matter what they're trying, it's just not quite working for them. And they're not playing, it's not that they're playing badly, they're just being outplayed at the moment. So the serve on Kerri Walsh, just to make sure she's paying attention. Sundance having a little look on, although more interested in the TV than what Mum's doing. Well, no complaints from Brazil. The ball was hit hard enough to allow the high hands defense for the USA, and now they draw level. Really well disguised. Has to come over. Larissa's onto it. And Juliana this time brings the heat. And it's too hot for May-Treanor to handle. All players involved in the rally, and it's Larissa who then finally gives the ball to Juliana, who at the third time of asking puts it away. Juliana to serve. Got to be tough enough to stop USA going over on two. It is. But it's not tough enough to stop the USA siding out. We were here last time, 7 each in the first set. Well, deep intake of breath from me, because I can't believe she just left that. Great serve from Kerri Walsh, but it was well in. And this time she drops Juliana short. And Larissa with a little rush of blood going over on two, and USA take control now of this second set. She was a little late in, was Larissa, and as a result felt she had to hit. And Kerri Walsh punishes her. No touch. And Brazil will call timeout here, because that's a turnaround now in this second set. 3-point lead for the USA. Off the back of 3 errors from Brazil. Although you count the block as not an error really, but a great block. Well, there's no love lost between the two teams, that's for sure. Both want to win. Both feel they're the best. All the highlights. Glasses off for Kerri Walsh. She means business. It's her serve. USA leading by 3. Not hit hard enough to allow that kind of a defence. The ball travelling a long way, and a double touch caught against Kerri Walsh. She's just going to have a word with the ref about it, but the decision's been made. He's not going to change it. She's saying, well, if it was a hard defence play, then surely I'm allowed to do that. But in effect, he's saying, no, it wasn't a hard-driven ball. That was hard-driven, but not into court. Well, it wouldn't be a World Championship final if it didn't go to a decider, would it, really? Neutrals, that's just what you want. And a clash at the net between Juliana and Kerri Walsh as Juliana wails that one miles out. And in fact, nothing too major. Actually, Juliana losing her balance and then just catching Kerri Walsh. Oh, it's on the line. It's been given out, though, by the lines judge. But the first official says it was in. And we hit the technical timeout, and it's a mirror image of the first set. Husband Casey Jennings is pretty pleased with what he's seeing right now from his wife, Kerri Walsh. From Brazil, anything but pleased. Were the USA lulling Brazil into a false sense of security? Maybe, maybe not. Well, Sundance, Daddy's saying, Mummy's doing really well. And he's saying, look, I'm on the big screen. So the dancing girls do their bit to entertain the crowd, and now the players come back out onto court to do their bit. The USA in the lead, but trailing by 1 set to love. Now for Kerri Walsh and Misty May-Treanor, this is a must-win set to take it into a decider. May-Treanor with the serve. Well, it's just a hatful of errors at the moment from Brazil. They cannot seem to find a point for love nor money. Well read by May-Treanor. But Kerri Walsh is back in business, and a long stare at the first official for the handling of Juliana in the rally. But it doesn't matter. The USA have their point, and they're extending their lead. That's better. A hit in anger from Juliana. Good pick up from Larissa. And a great put away. The USA come back from 6 behind in the first set to get within a point. There's nothing to say that Brazil can't do the same. Really well played by May-Treanor. Larissa knows it was hers to play, but she gave up on it a little too easily. It's another ace for Kerri Walsh, attacking Juliana high to the right shoulder, and Juliana trying to get out the way. It was the wrong move. Lovely serve. Well, it's as if the court is shrinking on Juliana. Another hit that she doesn't finish, doesn't follow through with the hand to get enough top spin on it. It's off the palm of her hand, which is why it's gone long. Almost at the heel of the hand more than the palm. Nice wipe. Really well done. Lovely shot. Brazil stand and stare, the ball doesn't come over. And they've got another point on the board. Well, it was a good touch from Larissa, but that ball was coming under the net, jamming under the bottom of the tape, and it was really difficult for Juliana to try and dig it back out again. And this time Juliana gets it past Kerri's block, didn't really press right into court, did Kerri? Jumping laterally to her left, and her arms went to her left as well. They didn't go across the net. Great pickup from Kerri Walsh and a wonderful put away. And a little bit of afters through the net from Kerri Walsh as she stands and stares at Juliana in the sand, as if to say, this is my set. Set point then for the USA. And they've not done it. It's another error for Brazil. And we're now heading into a decider. Oh, what a turnaround that was. Brazil so dominant in the first set, and they completely stopped playing in the second. We're now going to have the toss of the coin to see who is going to get what. So Brazil have won the toss. They'll choose to serve or receive, or may choose an end. So it looks like USA can have a choice of ends. Once Jonas can get a word in. Just checking where the wind's blowing. So the USA, there's confirmation of the score for you. 21-17, a thumping in the second, 21-13, but how many of those were unforced errors? From Juliana in particular, it must have been 5 or 6 that she put in the net or put out. The USA are going to choose the end at which they're sitting to get this third set underway. This now then, a race to 15. You've got to win by 2 clear points. And just the small matter of a gold medal and the World Championship title on the line. And Larissa, as usual, having a good having a good go at Juliana. And that's just because of the way Juliana's probably played in that last set. I think Larissa quite angry with that, just the number of errors. She's made more errors in that set than she probably has done throughout the tournament so far. But they just got to forget it. You've got to regroup, calm down, refocus, go back to the game plan, the one that worked in the first set. And that was the serving. That was very good. And in particular at the beginning of the second set against May-Treanor. Here we go then. World Championship decider. USA serving, Brazil receiving, May-Treanor with the ball. And a competent side out. That'll help settle the nerves if there were any for Juliana. Juliana deciding to break to the line. Larissa not making a move. She was still kind of mid-court, and that allowed May-Treanor to have a swipe at the ball. Well, unbelievably, Juliana's tried to hit the ball cross court when the whole of the line was begging. In fact, half the court line was begging, and she's tried to hit the hardest shot and come up empty. Good reach by Larissa. And now she too can't find a sideline. Good leave by Juliana. A slight mishit by Kerri Walsh. For some reason, Juliana and Larissa still playing like they're a little bit nervous. They've got to relax, get whatever it is out of their heads and focus on their volleyball. She had a swipe, come up without the ball, and then turned to see whether Larissa was going to play it, to find she was nowhere near it. May-Treanor. Another very wide set, but this time Juliana comes up with a lovely angle. But Larissa really doesn't need to be pushing her that wide, surely not. She needs to allow her to have some line shot, because that's really hard to play against. If all you've got is a cross-court angle, and you've got the block in your way and the defender there, that's a lot of pressure. But it's Brazil who are heaping the pressure on themselves at the moment. Good reactions from Juliana, and it's still in play. But at the second time of asking, Kerri Walsh puts it down. Juliana had a chance to hit, and she decided to play a pokey. And it's not paid off for Brazil at all, but it's paid off big time for the USA. Timeout called by Brazil. 3 points behind in this World Championship decider. And they've lost their focus a bit, haven't they? You do have to wonder how that can possibly help if you spend the timeout just having a go at your partner, instead of going back to thinking about what are our tactics, what are we supposed to be doing, what worked well, what have we stopped doing. Because USA really haven't done anything different. It's all about these two. It's what Brazil haven't done in the last set and a half. They haven't played, at least not to the level we know they can, and not to the level they did in the first set. Off the block and out. Well, Kerri Walsh will say she never touched it, but the referee says she did. And that's the end of that. Point for Brazil. Yep, off the net, but also off of her forearm. Juliana. Nicely done. It looked like May-Treanor was going to go with the cross-court roll and then changed her mind, went with the line roll. And Larissa desperately trying to keep it in play. May-Treanor. Free ball for the United States. Kerri Walsh with a hammer, and they increase their lead. And the dream of a World Championship gold is going to remain just that for Brazil at the moment. to start here and now. They've got the ball. They need points. They're only 3 behind. If they can score 2-1, they'll be right back in this match in the blink of an eye. Certainly before the USA can get close to a match point. There's a chance for a point. But they don't take it. Good defending from the USA. And they have their side out. They keep their 4-point lead. It keeps a smile on Casey Jennings' face. Kerri Walsh with the serve. Oh, goodness me. There was a line to be hit at again, and yet the Americans grouped in the centre of court. And Juliana still tried to hit them. Mind you, she did lose her left side. She's not jumping and reaching up really high on that particular shot. A line roll would have been perfect. They have the ball back. Juliana with the serve. Lovely play from Juliana. Getting the better of Misty May-Treanor at the net. Great jumping. She's got such a good jump, Juliana. Both in spike and a standing jump. Lovely play from Larissa. She made that and she finished it off. In the right place, cross court, to soak up the heat and then come back with the line roll. But maybe, just maybe, there's a twist in this final yet. To draw level, Larissa can't get past Kerri Walsh's block. There was the chance. That was the moment. And is that now the moment that the USA will take to go on and win this match? Juliana gets the line roll. Well, all it needs is one more good play in defense from Brazil and they're back level. Another one after that and they're in front. And then the pressure will be back on the USA. Oh, what a shot from May-Treanor. Curling that away from Juliana and onto the line. It was a great break, but it was an even better shot from May-Treanor. Walsh waits to serve, the line just being straightened out of picture. Walsh went with the change-up, going with the left hand, didn't work. May-Treanor's on it again, USA scrambling, but a free ball now for Brazil. And Larissa goes with the heat, this time the pokey's good enough to the line. Kerri Walsh can't get it, and Brazil have the ball. Cool and calm under pressure, Larissa. Kerri Walsh scrambling, but not coming up with the ball. But all that sand had gone up and into Kerri Walsh's face, so a little clean-up for her, which keeps Brazil waiting. Juliana trying to remain focused. Wonderful touch. Oh, and he couldn't make the finish. He tried to go cross-court, but Kerri Walsh was waiting. It was just too tight. The deep cross was begging to be played, but what a block from Kerri Walsh. And this time the line roll good enough. Well, Brazil keep creating the chances and they just can't finish them off. Side out's not a problem at the moment. But the most difficult point to get is from block defense. They're creating chances. They've got to take one of them. Otherwise, it will be USA's match. Larissa thought it was going long, and she left it. And USA now edging closer to gold. Good pick up from May-Treanor. And well watched by Larissa this time. 1 point in it. It's going down to the wire, that's for sure. Lovely pick up from May-Treanor, putting Kerri Walsh in a position to have a go. To draw level. Oh, what a pickup. Another chance for Larissa. But it's tight to the net, and she gets it this time. And we're all square. And the crowd go wild. What a play. Great effort from the USA, but May-Treanor couldn't keep it in play. And now a little bit of pressure on Kerri Walsh and May-Treanor as they look to get a side out. The chase is on. Juliana's going to get this. Larissa has a look. Plays it deep, makes May-Treanor move. But then Kerri Walsh comes up with the ball into the corner. And it's now match point for the USA. Great effort from Juliana. But Kerri Walsh made her height pay. And it brings up World Championship point. Larissa to keep Brazil in it, and she does. Brilliant play from Larissa. We're all square. First to get two clear takes gold. Oh, what a block! What an amazing play from Juliana. They've shut down Kerri Walsh, and now it's World Championship point for Brazil. Who would have thought of that? What a block from Juliana. And the USA call timeout. Well, what a time to come up with that play by Brazil. Giving Kerri Walsh the ball. And she decides to hit. And Juliana times her block to perfection. Kerri Walsh turning around and screaming at May-Treanor. Well, this is what's happened so far. Well, out they come once again. It's now World Championship point for Brazil. USA looking to side out to stay in the match. And now the celebrations can begin. They've done it. Brazil have got gold at long last. And it's a massive block from Juliana. And they'll be celebrating long and hard into the night. What a game. One that will go down in history. And for Juliana and Larissa, they have finally done it. They have their gold. Well, I'm sure they probably can't quite believe it yet. But when they get those medals around their necks, they will. Commiserations to the USA. They brought their A game and they turned it around in the second set to send it into the decider. And it just looked as if it wasn't going to be for Brazil, didn't it, at one point? Especially with all the errors that Juliana made. But she came back and she was strong, especially at the net with 2 massive blocks. And now they can celebrate, and the coaching staff can celebrate of a job well done. The best team have won the 2011 Swatch World Championships. There can be no doubt about that.